Hello, welcome to the first video on algebra. What do we usually cover in a typical algebra class? Typical algebra class focuses mostly on the study of functions. What types of functions do we usually see in an algebra class? There are four main types of functions that we see. The first one is called polynomials, and we begin the study of polynomials with the study of linear functions. Linear functions make straight lines. General formula for linear function is y equals some number times x plus some other number without the x. An example of linear function is y equals 2x minus 1. After the linear functions, we go to quadratic functions. The quadratic functions have the highest power of the unknown is 2. That's what makes them quadratic. The formula for the quadratic functions is y equals a times x to the power 2 plus b times x plus c. An example of quadratic function could be y equals x to the power 2 minus 5x plus 6. Quadratic functions make a picture that is a U-shape, and the picture of quadratic function is called parabola. After the quadratic functions, we'll look at cubic functions. The cubic functions have the highest power of the unknown is 3. Cube means 3. So the general formula for the cubic is y equals some number times x to the power 3 plus some number times x to the power 2 plus some number times x and the constant number without the x. One of the examples for the cubic could be y equals 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 8. After the cubic, we usually continue and expand the study of polynomials to higher degrees. So we might look at the 4th degree, 5th degree, and so on. Once we are comfortable with the polynomials, we then go to the next type of a function. So let's go to the next page. And the next type of a function is called rational function. Rational functions, the root of the word rational is ratio, and ratio means division. So what we have is we are dividing two polynomials, one polynomial divided by another. One of the examples could be a linear function on the top divided by a quadratic function on the bottom. Both of these are polynomials from the previous page, and if we divide the two, we will get rational function. After the rational functions, we often look at exponential functions. The formula for the exponential functions is y equals some number times some other number to the power x. The exponential functions are very different from the polynomials in that with the exponential functions we have the base that is fixed, but the power is always changing. For the polynomial, it's the other way around. Here is, on the bottom is a quadratic polynomial, and the base is x, which is a variable, but the power is 2. It's always fixed. So that's the difference between the polynomial and the exponential function. For the polynomial, the base changes, but the power is fixed. For the exponential, it's the other way around. The base is fixed, but the power is changing. After the exponential functions, we often look at logarithmic functions. The formula for the logarithmic functions is y equals logarithm of some base of x. One of the examples of logarithmic function could be y equals logarithm base 2 of x. When we look at the math topics, we usually look at two things. The first thing that we look at is, what is it? What does it mean to be a logarithmic function? That is, what are the definitions? What do we call a polynomial? What do we call a rational function? Then we'll look at the properties. What can you do with logarithmic functions? What are the rules? What can you not do with a polynomial function? And so on. We'll also look at the graph. Can we make the picture with a calculator? Can we make the picture by hand? What information would we need to make the picture by hand? Once we are comfortable with the actual topic, we know what it is, we know what you can do with it, we know what it looks like. The next step is, What are we using it for? That's the applications. And the applications often come in the form of word problems. And this is the process that we follow for each topic that we cover in math. We introduce the topic, we look at what you can do with it, we look at the pictures, if there are pictures, and then we look at the applications, what can we use it for. And this is the outline of a typical algebra class. These four functions that we just looked at will make up more than 50% of a typical algebra class. And if we are comfortable with these four topics, they will create a good foundation for our grades on the tests and the final. If you have any questions on anything, please let me know. If you have your own questions that you would like to see me discussed, please also let me know. I would be glad to look at them. Thank you for your time. Take care.